Hey everybody. Just jumping on today. Today's Thursday, May 14th, 2020. And I'm constantly making new decks. I just finished in black and white the King of Wands right there. So I keep making these cards because I'm explaining this in a different video that I'm working on right now, but I really believe the Ancient Marseille is like a sacred text. I think it ties into the Torah. And I think some Kabbalists, sometimes they just rewrite the Torah over and over again because it's not just linear words. There's multidimensional symbols within how those letters are orchestrated. And though you can read it linearly, there's way more going on than meets the eye. So I feel that way about the Marseille Tarot deck. I think the more that I create it, the better I get to know it, and the better I can communicate with it and understand what it has to tell me. It's like constantly revealing itself. So I keep doing it. I'm on my 5th deck right now and waiting for my colored pencils to arrive in the mail so I can finally start adding some color. So I mentioned yesterday felt pretty heavy, and a lot of people reached out to me and said they were feeling the same thing. There's a lot of just anxiety and discomfort, some unpleasantness, and just the way things felt. It feels like it's lifting today. I feel kind of good. So I just thought I'd do a daily update here and tap into the energy and just do a 3-card spread for the collective energy out there. Whoever's watching, whoever this message finds, it's for you. So I'm going to ask for my 3 cards for the day. There's 1. There's 2. One more card. That one. Okay. All right, so recent past slot. 4 of Swords. Been seeing a lot of 4s the last few days. 4 is the number of stability, application, and formation. It's a receptive energy because it's even, which means it's on the feminine side. Intuitive, passive energy, resembled by dark blue. So in the Marseille Tarot, all the Swords cards that have even numbers have a flower in the middle. All the odd numbers have a sword down the middle, representing the phallus. So this is a shout out to that feminine energy on the even numbers side. So swords, being the air sign, represent your mental body. It's mental energy. So this is about, we had 4 cups the other day. This is 4 of Swords, and those 2 cards are intrinsically linked. This is mental stability. Applying what you've learned into your life and stabilizing your mind. If you look in the middle of the card, there's this beautiful flower, and it's cloaked in red, which is that active masculine energy, but the blood of it, the inside of it, its veins run dark blue with feminine intuitive energy. The bud at the top and the cut right there is dark blue. And this masculine energy is running up, and it fruits these beautiful leaves of spiritual knowledge. Yellow represents logic, intellect, and idea, as does the sword itself, being the air sign. Yellow is logic, intellect, and idea, and light blue is spiritual energy. So these leaves are light blue and yellow, and these bigger leaves are light blue and yellow, which is spiritual knowledge. So the stabilizing of the mind, this is maybe understanding that you're in control of the way you think. You can control your thoughts. And if you get into a meditative state and begin to think along the lines of what you want, rather than letting the past kind of overwhelm you or getting into negative thought loops, your reality will change. So mental stability here. And I love that this white berry appears, berry white, appears right here on the 4 of Swords. And remember, white represents purity. So this is like your pure higher self kind of just starting to bud in this white berry. There's another card that has a black berry on it, that yin yang, and black represents the ego. So maybe this is after you've begun to digest knowledge on reprogramming your brain and how your thoughts really do create. This is this pure higher self beginning to emerge as you start to see the reflections of what you're thinking about actually manifest in your life. You're like, oh, what I'm thinking about actually does affect my third dimensional day-to-day life. It's a difficult lesson to learn, and it takes a lot of time, and I'm in the depths of it most of the time. I hope I'm making progress, and I hope you are too. So Four of Swords is our recent past energy, and in the present moment is the King of Pentacles. Okay, more stability here. So the court cards, which come after the cycle of 1 through 10, do not have a number attached to them. So you go through the 1 through the 10, and then you hit the page, the queen, the king, and then the last one is the knight. The kings are very stable. They're masters of this suit, and pentacles represent the earth energy. So that's anything corporeal, anything physical. Money, often depicted as coins, your physical body, your living situation, your housing situation. I like to say the earth energy is how we experience the third dimension with our five senses. Because, as you may or may not know, we can only perceive 0.0001% of reality on the electromagnetic spectrum. There's 99.999% of other realities going on that are not within our bandwidth. So we're seeing a small, tiny little slice of what we call reality. So what we can perceive is represented in this earth energy, the pentacles. So he's looking toward the future, and he's grabbing a hold of this material wealth, these physical resources that he's accumulated. He has them firmly in hand. This chair, which he sits in, represented by the flesh color, which is your body, has been spiritualized, symbolized by light blue. And he sits very comfortably within the chair of his body. He's firmly in command of his body. His consciousness remains on the top half of the square. Remember, two squares, one on top of the other. The top square is the sky, representing spirituality, and the bottom square is the ground, representing physicality. Humans live in the center square because we're both spiritual and physical at the same time. So in the past, he's used his power to manifest this material wealth, and it's firmly in hand. And he knows with confidence as he looks at the future that this other coin, this other abundance is his for the taking. He's dreaming what he wants to create next. And it's okay to have abundance. Wealth is okay to have. He has no problem receiving the abundance that comes from what he creates. A beautiful mixture of the red and the blue in the card. Red representing divine active masculine energy, and blue being divine feminine. So he's not only pulled out all the pieces and aspects of himself. We all have masculine feminine energies within us. The key is to find them all and then begin to integrate them, which gives you the color purple. And purple is the master color of the tarot, and there's not much in it. However, you can see the bands on his arms are purple. So this means to me that he's purpling. He's oscillating in a balanced way between his masculine and feminine principles, listening to his intuitive guidance and then taking action upon that guidance and keeping that flow going, which is where being in that flow state can help manifest abundant physical resources. He's also the only figure in the tarot that has alternating leg colors of red and blue. So our legs are how we move through the world. And I really love this about him because he takes one step with the blue leg, one step with the red leg. So that same balance of marching forward through life in balance between the masculine and feminine. His feet are green, and green represents rebirth. It's also the color of the heart chakra. It's emergence. It's like the leaves on the trees making their appearance. So this is rebirth or emergence of his higher self, which is propping up this chair and also touching the ground, which is light blue. So even the ground upon which he touches has been spiritualized. There's new yellow plants sprouting up out of this ground, which represents new spiritual knowledge. So it reminds me of these blue and yellow leaves that we saw on the Four of Swords before. Those are now on the ground, sprouting out. As he's manifested, this stability in thinking has provided him in the present moment to have accumulated something. And now he's like, well, I did that. What can I do next? Firmly in command of this earth energy, no fear, no poverty consciousness. He's thinking stably, and he's moving forward, looking toward the future, even though his body is still a bit pointed toward the past. So he's still kind of integrating what he's learned, but he's very comfortable doing so and really having trust and faith in what's coming next. And he has a lot of abundance that's available to come through for him if he keeps that faith up and that mentality up, that stable thinking. So where are we moving into in the near future energy? More pentacles, lots of pentacle energy today. And we have the 8 of Pentacles, which is the double of 4. So 8 of Pentacles. 8's a weird number. Because it's even, it's a feminine receptive energy. However, it stands for action, change, and regeneration in numerology. So that messed with me for a while. Pardon me. I was like, how can 8 be receptive and active at the same time? And then I got it. In meditation, I got this phrase, receptive action. So instead of being triggered and reactive impulsively and maybe giving into our past patterns, this is about, wait a minute, something's coming up. How can I go within, and how can I tap into my inner guidance to receive information on which actions to take? Receptive action. So it's a very balance between the red and the blue, this 8. And you can see how balanced this card is. And no matter how you cut it, the top square has 4 coins, the bottom square has 4 coins, the middle square has 4 coins, the feminine side has 4 coins, the masculine side has 4 coins. So 4 being that stability, application, and formation. This is being very, very stable in your earth energy, your pentacles energy. You're stable in how you receive physical resources from divine. You're stable in how you give it back to the world around you. And you're stable in that in-between state, knowing that the money's going to come and provide you what you need in the physical realm. So this idea of finances, not holding on to every penny you get, but knowing it's an inhale and an exhale. Money comes in, money goes out. So that makes a lot of sense here with the 4 coming and the double 4 and then the king in the middle. So let's go into the card a little bit deeper. In the center of the card is this dot of orange. And again, the color orange represents fulfillment because it's a mixture of the yellow and the red. Yellow being logic, intellect, and idea, and red being divine, masculine, active energy. You take what you've learned and you put it into action and you receive the fulfillment of it. And this fulfillment is right at the heart chakra. As humans, we bridge the sky to the ground through our heart. The middle of the card is the heart chakra. So fulfillment of the heart, and then in equal size, light blue and red, spiritual action. So in equal amounts, listening to what you need to do and then taking action on it. And it blooms equally in both ways. And I see these white stems, and white resembles purity in the tarot. White light contains all the frequencies of all the other colors within it. So there's this purity in how you receive and spend physical financial resources. There's no shame about it. There's no, I don't deserve it. There's just flow. There's big time flow. And then it fruits at both the root and the crown with these beautiful spiritual flowers, and then the red and the blue receptive action. So this is talking about our money lives right now. I'm going through it. I'm sure other people are going through it. Money's tight. But don't get trapped in fear and worry about it. Stabilize your thinking, visualize the outcome you want, expect it to come out of the blue, out of the left field. All you have to do is know it's coming. And then be firm and stable. Master that energy. Purple, be that red and blue mixture. Allow yourself to feel the rebirth. Stand on spiritual ground. Hold on confidently to what you have and know you can create more. And then receptive action. What guidance am I hearing that I need to take action upon to provide this incredible amount of balanced receptive action stability in money? So that speaks to me. I hope it speaks to you too. That's the daily 3-card spread for the day. I'm Tarot by Keith, and it's been a pleasure spending time with you. Much love.